Hey, what's up guys? Today we are back in Blender and we do a little bit of UV unwrapping, which is not really fun, but it has to be done, and we end up with something like that. So pretty much all our pieces are unwrapped. They're also stacked on top of each other at some places that we feel like we can actually gain some space. And we still haven't sorted them out in a single piece, but we're doing UV unwrap for quite a while, so that's what we do today, guys. And that's also what we're going to do a little bit tomorrow. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, today we're gonna go back inside of Blender and actually start doing a little bit of UV. So, all the objects we've had here, we just have to unwrap them into a new UV page. So let's get started right away. This big wall, what we're gonna do with it is hide it by hitting M on the keyboard. Oh wait, just select one piece and then Control L, then H. That's what I meant to do. And here we end up with all the other object. The object we just remove is just hidden, so we can toggle it back with Alt H. Alright, now let's start with something simple. Let's start with a poster because it's right here. I will go in object mode, and hide this, then select this object, and what I will do is actually have a new window, so I'll just drag this towards this side. Then this is going to be used for the UV/image editor. Alright, enter the edit mode. I'll choose every single faces we have here, press on U, and unwrap, which is going to give me some kind of result like that. Basically, the only thing that matters on this poster is really just the front face. In fact, I don't even want to have a back face, so I'll just go ahead and just remove it. Remove this face, and then here we go. So this whole thing here, we can actually just place it somewhere that makes a little bit more sense. Now I'm going to scale this down, and I'm also going to make sure it's on a vertical shape. Vertical. It looks like a triangle. That's what I'm trying to say. Right. So here it is. In terms of the size of this, I'm not quite sure what kind of size we're going for. So we'll find it out a little bit later on. And now, as far as the sides of this, I'll just collapse them all together next to the other object we have. So let's scale this down. I don't remember what's the size of this exactly. So it's almost 3 squares. Let's make it 2 squares because we've got a lot of things to fix on the texture. So, you know, maybe something like that. And really define how much space you want this to be taking. Now this is only the poster. It is going to be, you know, it's not going to be that defined, so I'll just use that much space. And as for the sides, like I said, let's select them back. I think they're going to be like a single color and that's it, because they're really small. So what I will be doing is make sure it's 2 square and just scale it on the x-axis and put it somewhere here next to the middle face. Alright, so that's going to work. If we just select everything, this is what it gives us in terms of UV, a small space up here. So let's go back in object mode, take another object. Which one is this? This is the word table. Let's go in edit mode, and we're going to clean this up. Actually, let's start by just cleaning this up before we do the UV. So we're gonna up here, actually we're gonna go in object mode and apply the mirror modifier. And also I'll just toggle clipping. Right. So once that is done, I can actually start merging some stuff together. I'm going to select edges, hold Alt, and dissolve these edges. Same thing here. Oops. We're going to be dissolving those edges, and we can actually start doing a little bit of UV here. So the center of it, the big center of it, is going to be some kind of special texture. So this one needs to take a little bit of space at least. So I'll just be scaling it inward like so. And I feel like just putting somewhere here. I think that's actually quite good. So I'll be putting it here, and I'm going to make sure it's like 3 squares in length. And maybe 2 square in height, that would be fine. So something of the sort, if I can just figure out how to select stuff. And I'm not super precise with that, but you could be by actually manually changing stuff up here. I think you have to press N. Yep. Up here you're going to be changing that. And it seems like it's in between 1 and 256, the values. Alright, now as for the side of the table, everything's going to be pretty much the same thing. So I'll just unwrap these two together. And here they are. Now, same thing. Oh wait, there's actually like those sides as well. Let's select them. Now we're going to do a unwrap, and here it is. That's what we get. Now, as far as those on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. So choose the three faces, unwrap, and hopefully you get the same exact result. So this and this. Okay, so they're flipped. That's not too bad. We can fix that afterward. And we'll do that for these as well. And here we go. Alright. And now let's do the legs really fast as well. So we're going to be selecting everything like this. And U for unwrap. It's a little bit messed up, but we only need like a single color for those. Yeah, it's definitely messed up. And we should actually be good to go now. Right, let's take the whole object, see what kind of mess we have to deal with. So this is a real mess. We are going to just go here, select one pixel, actually like select two, hit Control L, and we've got a full leg here. And I'm wondering why it's like that here and it's so much different on the other. Anyway, what we're going to be doing with this is just having a single color for the legs. So I'll just be taking this, making it super small, and we'll place it somewhere like here. Same thing for these one. I'll just collapse them into a single color and put it right about there. So the legs are done. Now in terms of the sides, might want to be putting some nice color up there. So what I will be doing, just start by selecting everything, only pick one vertex, then Control L, and this is what we end up with. So that's only one vertex for some reason. Let me just try that again. Now what we're gonna make sure is that they're pretty much just the same thing. So what I'll do is there's probably some way to snap the vertex on this, like there is in 3ds Max. If you click on this little thing here, you just move it around. Okay, so it snaps to a grid. It doesn't really snap to the other vertex. Let's see if there is some settings. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it does snap. So I'll just be taking like one vertex at a time, and I'll just be putting on top of the other shape, like so. And I'm quickly going to rotate this around, something like that. And we're going to go ahead and just match the pixels like we just did. So click on one, enable the snap, and we're going to be snapping on the vertex. And we just keep doing that until all the faces, they're pretty much just working together. On top of each other, that's what I meant. And again, we're only allowed to do that because we don't have a light map. If you'd want to have like a light map in the game, then you'd pretty much mess up everything by stacking your UVs. Alright. This should be the final one. And now we can take the whole thing and maybe just put it somewhere right around here. That's going to be taking 3 space again. Something like that. Alright, so what is the next step now? Let's also scale it in Y since we're there. Good. So the table would be done. The table is taking all that space, but that's like one of the big element. And we've got the poster up here, top left. Now that's hard to see because they're not selected together, but if I just go back here, can I actually have a look at those? Okay. I still don't know how to do that with Blender. I'll find it out quite soon, I'll let you know. Okay, so this diamond here, it's going to be fairly simple. Going to go in edit mode. I'll be taking all the top parts here. So the 4 parts, hit U, unwrap, and we end up with something really nice. Now let's do the same exact thing with the bottom part this time. And here we go. So let's actually just select everything. We're going to be taking these faces and just move it. Let's go ahead and just move it next to the poster, so up here. That would be good. And I'll just scale it like that. Actually, we're going to go in the middle and then scale it upward. Something of the sort. You gotta be like having a little bit of memory if you're using my technique. Yet again, there's probably other and better techniques out there. I'm just new with this, so I'm gonna keep the worst for last. Let's do the base now, the base of the hologram. We are going to just oh, go in edit mode. That's what I'm going to do. Go in edit mode, then press U with the whole object selected. And let's actually have a look at this. So where could we cut? We're going to be taking all of these faces in the middle, I think. Actually, we're going to be taking all the faces except the one in the middle. Then press U, unwrap. And this is what we end up with, which is not bad, but what is in the center? I still don't know. Okay, so there's actually a bottom to that. I'll remove it first, and then we will just do that again. Alright, let's unwrap this. And it makes a lot more sense now. Now, what you could do is actually just break this in a quarter. So you don't actually need to have all of these right here. You could actually just take 2 sides and then break it in the corner. And actually, I'll do it really quick so you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully it's going to be super quick. You would just take these faces and stack them on top of this one. So I'll just use my snap tool. I'll go ahead and just take these vertex and snap it right about there. This way you only have to do UV, not the UV, this way you only like draw at a single place, and it's going to be doing the 4 corners. And then we fold it that way. Just imagine you're just folding this object. And here we go. Now because of that we have more space and we can put a little bit more definition in this. So just select the whole thing. And I don't know exactly where we are in terms of texture. So I'll just be putting it right about there. Alright. Now let's also have the center and just scale it down. And I'll put it next to it. Actually, you know what? I'll just put it right about here, I think. By the end of this episode, I'll know how to just view all the objects on the same texture and we can move them more freely. Okay, let's go back to object mode, the chest now. What can we do with the chest? We are first going to go in edit mode and think about how we're going to be unwrapping this thing. So we definitely want to see the sides. I will be taking all of them, and unlike what I said during the making of this, we're going to be removing the bottom face. We're not actually going to see the chest anywhere else. So take all the side faces, unwrap, and this is what it gives you. Now obviously this is not going to work, so I'll just be taking one face one by one, and I think we're just going to merge them together. We're going to stack them on the same UV, that's what I meant. So let's have a look at this now. This is what we get. Now I'll take one of these vertex. With the snapping tool, I just put them all down here. And now they should all be using the same UV space. And of course, this is going to work for what we want. Now let's move this down a little bit. And it seems like I can't do that for some reason. I can't move them. Oh, it's because I'm on snapping still. Alright, let's move that over here. And now all of these are also going to have all the same color. And you know what? Like the inside of the chest could be the same as... Well, alright, never mind that. The inside of the chest are going to be different because you might want to be like adding some kind of logo in front or something. So let's do the inside of the chest. Gonna be taking pretty much everything here. Unwrap. Go here, and then finally I just unwrap one by one like I just said. So, like this. And while we're at it, we're also going to take these texture here in the back. Alright. If we just select the whole deal now. Here it is. I'm going to be using the snap to vertex, and we'll just collapse that. Good. Now that would be all the inside of it. Now the these faces that I've selected, they're pretty much just down there. So let's go ahead and take all these faces we've made. Gonna be pressing B, and I'll just move them over here. That's the inside of the chest. Okay, now let's go for the these over here, the borders. So I'll unwrap again one by one. Same thing for the top side. And our UVs are a little bit spread out, but it's still going to work fine. So let's select the whole deal. And they're pretty much like on the wrong axis here, so I'll just go ahead and just collapse them all together. Just find a point where it would work, where it does make sense a little bit. So I'll just be putting these down. And then over here, we'll make sure to collapse everything, say right there. That's a bit of manual work, of course. I think there's a better way to do this, I just don't know yet. So if you guys know how to unwrap UV, just please let me know. In Blender, I have no problem doing it in 3ds Max. I'm having quite a blast doing it in 3ds Max, but this is really different. Probably just because of the keybind, actually. Alright, we should end up with some result really soon. And there we go. They're pretty much just messed up, but since it's gonna be like a single color, doesn't really matter at this point. I'll be selecting all of these and just putting them on the same Y as the other one. So maybe like 10, and then just go back here. Put that on 10 as well. And I think they are the same on the X-axis. Yep, they are. So we're gonna go ahead and just select the whole thing. Oh, there's one that is a little bit messed up below that, so let's just make sure we include it as well. Control L, and here it is. That is the bands. That is like all the sides. So that should almost be it. We still got the sides here to do these sides. And where are they right now? They're pretty much just lost. They don't really exist at this point, so we're going to be creating them. I'm going to select all these 4 faces, hit U, and we should have our UV right there. Now hopefully this one is on the same angle, and I think it is. Yeah, they're pretty much just stacking. That's pretty good. Well, are they? Nope, never mind, I lied. So we're gonna have to rotate this around. Now what I'll do is I'll just take my vertex tool, snap tool, and I'll just pull them on the other object like so. Then of course select everything, and let's move it outside of the frame. And then finally these one. That's going to be fairly simple. That's the top of the chest. We don't really see it, so I don't know what to do with it, to be honest. As for now, I'll just move it right about there. Alright, so if we take a look at the whole chest, it actually looks like something like that. And I'll just be taking all of this, move it like really far away. So when we come back and well, you know what? Let's just leave it on the left side here. So when we come back with like all the things on the same texture, we can actually start just placing that and you know, take piece by piece and just place them at the right place. The final object is actually just a table, so we are going to go instead of object mode, select it, edit mode, and actually just start doing something here. And now that I'm actually here, I also forgot that we didn't do the bottom of the wire table, but I don't think we'll need it because we don't see it. Alright, so let's start with the legs, because they're pretty much messed up. We're going to be doing the same exact thing with the leg. We're going to be using the same legs actually for the wire table and also this table. So select everything, Control U, and we're simply going to do the same thing. Alright, now I will be selecting the whole thing, and now this is what we actually want to have. So we want to have all of these together. Let's also include the other object because we don't really care at this moment. We still have to unwrap them, so eventually we'll just, you know, we'll move them too. And I'm going to just scale them down, and I'll put them here because I don't remember exactly where the wire table things are. So I'll just scale it down like that. Now let's do the top of the table. Top of the table can have some kind of wooden texture here. It doesn't really matter at this point. But it doesn't have to be that big, so I'll just move it here. Now the sides of the table, I'll unwrap one by one and I'll stack them. In case you want to have like a single color there that would be different from the rest. Alright, here it is. We can move it down and snap it to vertex. Now take the whole deal and put it here. So the next few objects are the book, which we're going to be taking the two sides, so the top side, like this, unwrap, and also the bottom side unwrap as well. We're not going to see the bottom side, but I'm just thinking that we should like stack them either way. And as far as this goes, the other book, I'll just move it somewhere else for now. But we'll do something different for the other book, maybe just another color. Alright, so now we have these two objects, which is the back side and the front side of the book. Just going to stack them together, like so. And we will be moving them somewhere else. Right about here. So this one, same thing goes for this one. And we can move them somewhere else. Now the sides of the book are going to be all the same color, so I'll just mash them up all together, including the second book. You gotta remember that like the little details you put in there are really going to be hard to see because you're on mobile phone. And then again, we're going to be stacking that on top of each other. And just bear with me, we're almost done here doing UVs and hopefully art in general. We can almost go back to coding. That would be great. Alright, so like all of these now, we're going to be moving them, say, right about there. What is this exactly? Let me just have a look at what kind of object this is. I'm really wondering where did these UV come from. Is that what I just did? Oh no, that's the side of the table. Alright, my bad. And finally, for this whole thing, that's going to be like a another texture. So what I think I'll just do is take the whole thing, press on U, unwrap. And where are the UVs of this? I'm having, oh, they're right here. They're all stacked on a single point, which is what I'll actually keep. They're going to be like a single color, so I'll just be putting them, say, here. or there for now until we can figure out how to merge all the materials together. So I'll quickly do a Google search and I will come back really soon, guys. Alright, so after looking on the web, turns out you actually have to merge them together and then we can unmerge them. So I'll just be selecting all of them, hitting Control J on the keyboard. Now they're just a single object. That excludes the floor. The floor is just still hidden, you know, that's this thing. We're going to take care of that a little bit later on. So we have all of these objects merged together. We can now go inside of edit mode, I believe. And what I have here is view and draw other objects. So I'm pretty much just trying to draw everything. And I'm going to just double click on A, so we end up with something like that. And we can go ahead and just make a texture for this. So I think the proportions are not too bad. Alright, so now that all our pieces are pretty much together, we're going to be calling it a day, and we're just going to be like working on that a little bit later on, because we've been doing UVs for quite a while and my head is about to explode. So I hope you guys learned something, and if you did, please leave me a like, really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.